Hey everybody, Timothy here for Sharp 11 Music. It's been a while since I've made a video like this for the channel, but I have come across too many frustrating videos and ads on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere. So I really felt I needed to make a video about this. This is going to be a two-part video. In the first part, I want to talk about learning the fretboard, how to break up the fretboard, and really actually play in position. What are the positions? How do we get to these positions? Because I see a lot of not necessarily misinformation about this, but I'll get to that rant in a bit. And the second part is an application of this to footprints. So, learning the fretboard. In one camp on the internet, there are the guys that say, don't learn scales, don't learn modes, don't learn theory, and all that stuff. And yeah, whatever, man, fine. In the other camp, there are those that make these almost mathematical formulas. I saw a video with X, Y, and Z and whatever. Basically, they come up with 3 notes per string, and they say it's 7 positions. Just as a little disclaimer before I storm off into my explanation, you don't have to listen to me, you don't have to do what I do. This is my system. I've developed this over the course of maybe 15 years because I have struggled a lot with learning the fretboard and organizing all this stuff. My goal was to know and practice every possibility to play something all over the neck, in every key, all that stuff, and have a structured way to do that. So I have developed a system for that. So that being said, 3 notes per string is a diagonal shape. You don't stay in position. That's the point where you shift positions. So I start here, I end up there, but what about these notes? I just shift over them, so I don't practice these, or what? So another thing, what my problem is with all this 3 note per string approach is that these guys don't seem to focus on where the root is. So I'm in C major. They just start from what their lowest available note is, and then some call it even that the Lydian shape or whatever, but yeah, sure, I'm starting on F, but my context is still C major, so it makes 0 sense. So what do I suggest for practicing the fretboard? Step 1, octave patterns, much like the caged system. Where are all my C's or any other note? Where is my root? I don't call them by their whatever open chord name, C, A, G. I don't do that. The thing with the caged system is that they end up with 5 positions, which also skips over possibilities. So this is something I heard Rick Beato say actually, which was one of the keys into developing the system, which is after your root, you can go in 3 different directions. So you can go behind the note, you can go on the note, or you can go after the note. And basically you can do that on aha, now we're getting somewhere. We have 7 different options of playing the major scale now. Now, if we want to continue across all 6 strings, then we need to make a couple of decisions. What do I do when I come here, for example? I used to play it like this as just one example. So the final piece of the puzzle is we're going to use almost 3 notes per string, except on the 2nd and 3rd string. We're going to keep in mind that there is a doubled note there, or a false fingering, if you want to compare it to a saxophone thing. Basically, it's something I got from Alan Holdsworth because he he had this thing going on sometimes, so if I don't play the doubled note, I know it's there. I don't play it necessarily, but now I have played all the notes in that position across my neck. I start from the root, go all the way up, go all the way down, and I end on my root. So next position. Here's the doubled note. Now we come here, we already did this, so our only option is to go and then we're back. In our first shape. So this is a very quick overview of how I break up the neck. It's what I use in my Fretboard Fundamentals course. This is how I structure everything, and it's only major scale. Our example for today is footprints, so that's C minor. So it's 8 bars C minor, 4 bars F minor, C minor, D7, D flat 7. Those are like the popular real boot changes. So it starts off in a modal setting, because we're just hanging out on the C minor. So it makes sense to assign a mode to the chord. If we're thinking in a modal setting, modal is really coloring. We're coloring our it's a minor. It's a minor setting, and now we can color it. The melody gives us a clue that it kind of wants to be Dorian. So let's go for Dorian. If we start from our, I don't want to use open strings for this, so I'm gonna start here. This is gonna be my foundational starting point, whatever. I know where my root is. I'm aware of the different intervals. That's another thing. Always be aware of where the other scale degrees are, what they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Here's another 4. Here's another 6. So to get to Dorian, I need to flatten my 3rd and my 7. So I know that my doubled note is here. I am aware of all of this. Now, if I want, I can apply some scale pattern. In Matteo Mancuso's solo, he uses a lot of fourths. So here is the scale first as I played it, and then in fourths. Then we get this. I want you to notice how strict I'm being with staying inside this position and only using the notes that I'm... with this, I'm not going like this. This note is not in my position. So I can also put my C there. That's also an option. But I'm sticking very strictly in my position. Another thing you can do, I didn't write it down, but you can track down all the drop 2 voicings, for example. So C minor 6, C, G, C, E flat, G, A, C, G, A, E flat in this inversion, or voicing. My next option, back down. Next would be the C, but again, I would have to switch positions or use open strings, so I'm not gonna consider it in this position. I know it's there or there, but that's for my next position. I'm just focusing on this. So from here, I'm gonna skip my C down to my A, and that's it for drop 2 voicings in this position. Oops. And this is just for C minor. There's also an F minor. So F Dorian, if I want to start from my major and then transform it into Dorian, that would be that's major. That's Dorian. Same thing here. Scale in fourths. Those notes and brackets are my alternate fingerings for the C. And then we have D7. Just Mixolydian, that's an option. We have a B, a G in there in the melody, so why not go with Mixolydian? You can do the same thing. That's major is, so if we flatten the 7, oops. You can do the same thing there, all in fourths. And you also come across shapes you just never find that quickly on your own if you don't go through this. So I'm really exploring every possibility there is with this. Sorry. Another option, if you want to use a different color, is E flat melodic minor over D. Which I can transform as well from major. I just have to flatten my third. And I can play that in fourths. D flat 7, we can think D flat Mixolydian sharp 11. We can think of it as A flat melodic minor, which is the same thing, we're just starting on a different note. But the focus, if you do that, is probably going to be more on A flat than it is going to be on D flat. That's just the way it works. If I think in D flat 7, my focal point will be D flat F, A flats with all their surrounding scale degrees. Otherwise, in A flat, I'm going to be thinking A flat, C flat, E flat, G, and then all the surrounding scale degrees, the 2, 4, 6, whatever. So now that we have uncovered our scales in this one position, we can go ahead and try to make some melodies, come up with some interesting voicings, see what sounds cool just here in this part. And after that, we can try using that stuff in improvisation. So this is the point where you, if you have some vocabulary you want to implement, this is where you do it. You know, if you want to use Parker stuff, whatever, you know, this, I can use this in dominant. This is just an enclosure of the root. So over D7. And I'm applying it to my position, to my shape. Same lick in another position using my next option. You know, on and on and on. And I can really go step by step through all my options to play something on the guitar and not skip over anything. This approach may not be for everybody. You may not be interested in examining all the options on the fretboard. This is really something that was a personal necessity for me. I wanted to do this, to be able to do this, and this is how I study and practice now. And in my opinion, is really the most complete way to practice anything on guitar. So with that being said, here's a little one chorus solo using only things in this position, using some fourth concepts, and just trying to be creative and make some nice melodies. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. It has become quite dark in the meantime. I know this was quite the ranting video, and I went quite fast through a lot of concepts. These PDFs are available on Patreon. They're available on our website. My Fretboard Fundamentals program is available on the website. I really think it's my most important course I made. There's also the Alan Holdsworth concept, which is way more popular, which is normal, I guess. It sounds way more exciting to learn about all these crazy harmonic concepts than learning the major scale in 12 keys. But I really consider this to be the foundation if you want to study your guitar. For me, it has really changed the way I study and practice, and I used to hate practicing this stuff, and now it's just fun. It's also how I practice my technique now, so I really do recommend it to everyone. I use it with all my students. This is just the way I teach guitar now. Questions, comments, let me know. If you want to check out all of our courses, just go to sharp11music.com. We also have a lot of free stuff there. Go check out our Patreon. I wish you a very nice rest of the day or evening, whatever time it is when you're watching this, and I will see you next time.